All right, you're live.
All right. Allahu Akbar. Say it again. Allahu Akbar. Allah is the greatest. Assalamu alaikum. Say that again. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. How the Asiatic black nation doing tonight? I pray all is well. If not, go through it, overcome, wherever that might be. Right, folks. Good to be here tonight. Like a brother used to always say, good to be seen. I mean, you're here. But as usual, I'm going to start out in this prayer. Get things moving right along. We'll kick a little knowledge tonight. I'm not going to hold you long. But in the most holy name of Almighty God Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who was to come and has come to restore we who were lost from our own kingdom of Islam and to destroy those that have destroyed us. God, our God, Allah, we are thy people. Deliver us from our murderers, and we serve and obey thee all the days of our lives. And we will teach our children to submit to thee, to that unequal love and mercy for thou. And thanks to you, O Allah, for making manifest to us our enemy, the devil, and help us, O Allah, to live the life, die the death of a Muslim. I bear with the most honorable Muhammad Elijah. Muhammad is your last and greatest apostle. I'd like to thank you for this day, this gift of life. I pray, Allah, you keep that divine hedge around us, the black nation. I pray that we learn how to overcome any and all obstacles. I pray, Allah, that you bring all the forces of nature that you have at your disposal to destroy this evil, sinful, wicked, and the cursed devil, wherever he may be, or she may be on this planet. I thank you, Allah, for this day. Thank you for this gift of life. I thank you for coming. I thank you for raising up in our midst the most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad. I thank most honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad for the dropping of spiritual seeds. Now we have a lot of powerful men and women raising up in America in the belly of the beast. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. One more thing, Allah. I pray that you remove the heart of the devil from thee as well as the black nation. So thank you. Thank you, thank you. Very, very, very grateful to be here at this day and time. Assalamu alaikum, black people. You know, this is the subject tonight a little bit on knowledge. I'm just going to drop some knowledge out there a little bit. You always get knowledge when you come here. You know, and knowledge is dealing with the truth is very powerful. You know, that you get knowledge, it lights you up. There's things that we have to do with knowledge once we get it. You know, and what I wanted to tell black people tonight is this, black people. You actually, in the eyes of the world, whether you recognize it or not, you're actually a miracle, a living miracle that's taking place in front of the whole world, eyes for them to see it, recognize that original man, that Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe here in America, the indestructibles from that holy, holy tribe, from that created nation, direct descendants of the creator themselves here in America after 1555. Brought here against our will by the unalike one that came from us, a made man, came from the original man to wreak havoc on our planet. It took us from our heaven and put us in hell, in the belly of the beast, took everything that we knew from us. After 64 years, actually that first generation, it was damn near over with, black folks. Put in chains, packed on ships, brought to America on the shores of the Mississippi River, the East Coast to the West Coast, Gulf of Mexico, we were for sale. Stripped of every damn thing. Owned by another human being, worked from sun up to sundown, mistreated, inhumane treatment sanctioned by the Pope. Everybody had a hand in it that didn't look like us, and some of those that looked like us. In this travesty, I mean, totally reduced down to nothing. We couldn't even remember our names. After 64 years, we didn't know where we come from. Some of them are just footstools for master just to prop his feet on. You can go to women and take them when they got ready, knocking off men as well. Weren't allowed to read, write. For those that knew their history a little bit, they were not allowed to even carry the original name or speak their language. But they worked the hell out of us. Sun up, sun down, smoke sides. Black folks come up through all these changes at slavery, come out on our own, taking care of ourselves, building our cities, creating commerce, running for political office. That got shut down. Went into the Jim Crow era, damn near put it back on the plantation. You can be walking down the dirt road in the South, get picked up by the sheriff, you had to go to the plantation, put your work in. But it's pretty amazing that we came out of slavery. Became doctors, engineers, teachers, businessmen, what have you, scientists. Some of the greatest scientists or inventors come out the black nation in America. And you say, well, damn, how could we do such creative work when we weren't even allowed to go to school? Weren't even allowed to read. But we had this very, very creative mind in the black nation. Know how to read the stars. Came up with all these inventions that we have in modern time. Author of Modern Medicine, Technology in America. We flash forward to 2023. You're damn near running neck and neck with the Europeans. Remember now, we've been set back 450 years. And we running damn near neck and neck. We done ran all the way from the outhouse to the White House. Even though we didn't get much out the deal. Think how frightening and confusing this is to the one that called himself the superior one. We have been all the way to the white man's White House and sat in the same damn chair that Lincoln Washington and all the other presidents have said it. They disparaged us. They made laws to keep us down from progressing. Injustice has been displayed and put on us. Miseducated. But we helped the white man get to the moon. We helped the white man tell time. But he don't want to tell the story no more about the greatness of the black man in America. Understand? He don't even want to put your history in the school system now. Like he afraid to tell on himself. Huh? Is he afraid to tell the story about the invincible ones, the indestructible ones? We did all of this to them. Now we want to put their history in the public school system? Because what our children are going to look at your greatness. Then they'll recognize how devilish and satanic we as the people are. This is white man thinking. Look at them now, Billy Bob. They got 9-year-olds graduating from high school, little genius, smarter than both their mother and their father, and they professors. You understand what I'm saying? Black folks all over of America now that you see the rise of the black nation. All these gods, these little gods that's being brought on the planet. You got to hold the babies in your hand. And they're sitting up, just got here, talking. You understand? Talking. Saying, I love you. These are little gods. Allah is showing you, black folks, what time it is. It's your time. It's our time. But this is the miracle that's taking place on our planet for the whole damn world to see. Heads of the United States military, black man. Understand what I'm saying? Secretary of Defense in charge of the United States military, leading up most of his science projects, leading up most of his technological projects in development in America. And if we had these chains off of us, nobody could keep up with us, not even the Chinese. We'll be so far advanced on this planet. Look at yourself, black folks. Go look in the mirror and say, all praise is due to the Most High. You understand? Because now I recognize the time I'm living in and who I am and all the power and ability that I possess in my mind. All those 12 DNA strands are coming alive now. Now I'm starting to know. Now I can see the greatness in the black nation, even though he put his foot on the back of our neck constantly every day. You understand? Y'all talk about us behind our back, laugh at us in front of our face. You send your night riders out to ride down on us. You put your hateful doctors in the hospitals to help us get off the planet much earlier or take our organs or what have you. You kidnap our babies like you did in Atlanta and blame it on the black man. Well, you're taking the parts of the black man, the original man, woman, and child, and using them on yourself. You understand what I'm saying? And made a movie, I forgot the name of it, where they was taking parts from the black man, using them to maintain their life. Do you know who you are, black man, woman, and child? You understand? You cannot really be destroyed. We can be murdered, but as a people, you can't destroy us. Impossible. We are the miracle on the planet. Even our own African brothers and sisters will deny us because they don't teach them a damn thing in Africa about history, in particular our history. But they do have the net now. They can go up and research and get this knowledge. You understand? We have been despised. But damn near everybody on the planet, from the Chinese calling the niggas. You understand what I'm saying? You can go to Mexico, they look at you like you're a thing, want to touch your hair. Other places on the planet, they thumb their nose up at the original man because they know that's what you don't know. They know you the father of all of them. You understand? They write in the Chinese history, talk about the Peking man, Peking hell. You understand? Your father is the black man. Understand what I'm saying? It's going down South America, down Peru, Chile, and all those countries. It's got that damn near Caucasian bloodline running around. Your father is the black man, and your mother is the black woman. Wherever you want to go on the planet, go to India. Understand what I'm saying? The Dalits, the black ones, got them as fourth-class citizens. All they can do is clean out the sewer lines in most cases for a living. Totally despised. The father and the mother of the Indian people in India is on the bottom. Go to Egypt. Look at the leadership, looking like Caucasians. All they talk about is Egypt. Or they talk about Kush, the Kushites. Understand what I'm saying? Which was better known as Ethiopia, all the way down to Sudan. You understand what I'm trying to say? Despised in your own land. You understand what I'm trying to tell you, black folks? Some of your top scientists and mathematicians come out there, create a nation. The one that would kidnap and strip of everything in the West. Those that hate self and kind has been trained to destroy one another. Hate, self, and kind. That's been trained to worship a God given to them. By who? Who gave you your God after 1555? Was it not your slave master? Of course it was. You understand what I'm saying? Put you on the cross and they gave you the cross. But we're still here. We're still striving. Why are we striving, huh? Because we're producing gods now. You got our young people all over America now, going all over the planet, speaking truth, power, understand? Reorganizing, retraining our people, the black nation. That's a miracle to the European. I done did everything I could possibly do. I done even came in your house and in your homes and murdered you in your home, in your bed, on your front lawn, in your cars, wherever I could find you, nigga. I done did everything to stop you. But I recognize the chastisement of God. You understand? On the white nation now. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all having babies. But damn, we got the abortion rate up so high for you, but y'all still outnumbering us. What's going on? Our birth rate, Caucasian is saying, is declining. Europe, they say about 1.7%. Their ability to have children. You understand what I'm saying? But like the old saying goes, we multiply, we don't die, we like baby kids, we keep coming. The indestructibles. Chemical warfare been played on us. Germ warfare been played on us. Miseducating us. We didn't know thee from the same damn word. But been running neck and neck with this devil, with all the restrictions. You understand what I'm saying? Just like starting to run a 100-yard dash. You understand? You got two big blocks on each leg. You understand? At the starting line, and the gun is sounding. But you take off. You understand what I'm saying? But you lead in the race. How you doing that, brothers and sisters? Recognize your greatness. Don't pay attention to what this devil is telling you. You got our young folks at one another. But there is a solution to solve that problem. It's probably about a 10-year plan, but you got to take it in the home. You got to teach from the home. You got to educate from the home. You got to study. You got to practice to be great. Black man, black woman, black child. Strive to be the best of the best, because you are. You understand what I'm saying? The future is now. Take over time, black folks. This is what should be on your mind. How can we take our planet back? How can we rule? Because now I recognize all our abilities and all our responsibilities, understand, is to Allah. You understand what I'm trying to tell you, black folks? Allah said it shall be, we should go into slavery in a strange land for over 400 years, but we will come out with great substance. What is that substance? Knowledge. Well, we remember when we was put to sleep who we are, all the abilities and the power that we possess is in us. He told us to look to the sky and pray for something outside ourselves. He gave us a white man, looked like a hippie in the 60s. They said Michelangelo's lover is the one they presented to us. But when the Pope prayed in the special chambers, he has a picture of the Black Madonna and the Black child. You understand? All these things were kept away from you, so you wouldn't know you don't know. Understand what I'm saying? But look at us. Of all those circumstances, no justice, no freedom, no justice, no equality, no equity. We on the move. Understand what I'm saying? Black man, because all the things they give us is all the negatives. All we get in corporate media is all the negative connotations on the black man, woman, and child. They never tell you about your greatness, do they? They never tell you how much they really need you and how much we led them into the 21st century. The mind of the black people in America. Allahu Akbar. This is the miracle. Black folks, recognize yourself. You're a bad man, brother. In spite of all of it. In spite of the fact they got us walking down the street with a hand in the pocket and a head down. With a run over shoe. Understand? In spite of the fact they got a schism between the black man and black woman, a good portion of it. But where we have this separation amongst ourselves and these different value systems, that allegiance to one another has to come back. I won't even get into the rest of it right now, be honest about it. But all of that's going to disappear before long. You see that peace, love, and happiness come back into the black nation, where we're to actually have love amongst one another. And it's going to shake up the whole damn planet when they see the black man and woman and the black family showing love for one another, practicing what I want for myself, I want for my brother and my sister of good, practicing cooperation amongst one another, having self-love for yourself. Understand what I'm trying to tell you tonight, black folks? Get off the narrative. Understand? Get off that narrative that the white man is telling us every day on all the situations he's set up for us to hate self and kind. Where we don't even like the way we look in the mirror. Blue contacts, got your blonde hair, but we got most of our women trying to look Europeanish, you understand? But instead of looking like they beautiful black self. Even when they got the black man putting on dresses, even when they got the black woman putting on combat boots and flipping her hat back to the side, in spite of the homosexual agenda that they push it on the black man. Talking about toxic masculinity. Now you cut on the TV, you really don't see no masculine black man unless they're taking his ass to jail. Understand what I'm saying? But in spite of, we're still coming. You understand what I'm saying? Think about this, black folks. You the greatest of the greatest. Understand? You shall be the ruler. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this. He said, even though the white man is like he is, he said, respect him. He said, in some cases, you should honor him. He said, and the reason why, because Allah, God himself, made sure the white man was brought into existence in order to rule over us. This is his will. So we have to respect that. But he said, the reason that we do that, because we have to practice righteousness. And the reason that we must do that, because we must show the whole world and the white man, we righteous people. We won't take on his ideology and treat people the way he treated us. You understand what I'm saying? He said, Allah wants you to show the world that you righteous people, in spite of. You understand what I'm saying? We the best of the best. You understand, black people? We can never take on the mindset of the Caucasian. That's why Allah say, that's why the white man is worried about us. He see us coming up. But he worried about if we're going to take vengeance on him. Well, Allah said, vengeance is mine. Understand? But if we ever went to hand combat, nobody no mercy. Understand what I'm trying to tell you. Black folks, it's our time See yourself. Look in that mirror, teach your children to love themselves. Black folks. Allahu Akbar. I just wanted to throw that out a little bit tonight because I'm going to move on. I ain't going to hold you long tonight. But he said this. I go on to my tidbits a little bit. Man is controlled by his emotions. The question should be, should you be controlled by your emotions, brother or sister? In particular, the man. It said when a human being thinks like God, that means that man is acting like God. Understand what I'm trying to say, black folks? Get into the mindsets of God. And then we can do this. You can call him Jesus, you can call him Jehovah, you can call him Yahweh, or whatever name they got out there. But if you took on the behavior and the mind of the God that you say you worship, we all really would be on the same damn page. When you think about it, black folks, it says thinking is the core of man. Thoughts travel at the rate of 24 billion miles per second. See, God is the master of the process of reasoning. God has emotion, black folks, but he's the master of the ability to reason. Greater than the mind and all the senses, one's ability to reason. But a lot of our decisions is based on emotion. Even when I gave the little synopsis on when I was talking on the podcast that 19 Keys had about that, the wife, son, and the man being stranded on an island who would eat that piece of meat. And I said the man, automatically, most of the brother got in the same emotional field that the women got into. Not reasoning, then take the time out to think that situation through. You understand? Well, one, the woman, first of all, she's not strong as the man. For one, everything that you see was built by a man. When they put all women together on this island, and they had the men on the island, the women damn near perished. Men are damn near put everything together and build them a damn home damn near on this island. You understand what I'm saying? Black folks. But you brothers have been made to think on your emotional side. You dig what I'm saying? Trying to line up with the feminine energy. Not to disparage anyone. I'm just telling you how man has to be able to think and reason things out. Get out the feelings and what somebody else may think. You understand? When it comes down to your life, your livelihood, your family, take charge. Make sure you're right, black folks. Allahu Akbar. Move right along. It says God does not make. It said in order to do things right in a sack, you have to practice mathematics. The greatest mathematician in our universe is God himself. So all you do is mathematics. God does not make decisions on emotion. God has emotion, but he's not ruled by his emotions. Understand what I'm trying to say? It says, it is not enough to just to have money and knowledge. Money and knowledge does not really equate to power. Unless you, first and foremost, you get knowledge, you got to execute. Understand? Then when you get money, you must be organized in order to be effective. Put money, knowledge, put that together, organize. First of all, that's why we're so ineffective in America today. Our sportsmen, women, and entertainers and stuff like that, some of our rich black folks got a little money, but it's scattered. It's not used in an effective manner to raise the black nation. They took it on the ideology, I got mine, you get yours. Me, mine, and I mentality. See, we don't have that allegiance to one another. Why? Because the white man told you this. He said, we can't unite. I beg the difference. See, there's a solution to every problem. Understand? All you got to do is think on it. Some are short range and some are long term. Understand? But there are solutions to every problem that we have. The solution was there before the problem even exists. Black folks, it's our time now. Throw out all that crap the white boy done taught you. It says, when you have money and knowledge and you start to organize, you must develop a social structure. We must change the way we look at one another, the way we communicate with one another, the way we treat one another. You understand what I'm saying? I remember when we went to the Million Man March, wherever we touched ground, traveling from the west to the east coast, wherever we stopped off at, you seen black men greeting one another. How you doing, my brother? Nodding to one another. We show we had that brotherhood that was developing, that love for one another. And white folk were so astounded. It's like they really didn't even exist in the black man's mind. They were there, but they were watching us. The way we received one another. You understand what I'm trying to say? Every black man saw one another, greeted one another, brothers and sisters. Understand what I'm saying? If a brother stepped on your shoe, had down there over 2 million people in DC, you step on their shoe, they say, excuse me, themselves. You understand what I'm saying? Black men, you seen some was battling because that was that Day of Atonement where you didn't do drugs and none of that. Brother to fight through all of that. Some get sick, throw up a little bit, but they kept marching on. Understand what I'm saying? Black folks. That's that social construct that we have to develop. And when that massive crowd of 2 million people cleared out, you couldn't even find a piece of paper on the ground. Understand what I'm saying? Black folks, we got to organize and start to build a better culture, a better social construct. We have to have better social relations. Each one teach one, dress it up, cover it down, help one another. Understand what I'm saying, black folk? He said children must learn science, mathematics, and all the other disciplines. But they're also taught to learn and love one's self and have love for each other and to cooperate. We got to teach one another, especially our children, how to cooperate with one another. We got to bring this into our culture. Cooperation. It's enough to say that we can't unite, but are we teaching our babies to unite? We can solve these problems, black folks. Wherever there's a problem, there's a solution. Teach your children, start in the home. Develop cooperation with one another in front of your children. You understand? We can change the whole dynamics of all of this. We in charge, and all we got to do is drive the damn car. It says, cheers to all the people who can change their minds when presented with information that contradicts their beliefs. A lot of information. Understand? Talk about Honorable Humble Elijah Muhammad. Contradicts all the beliefs, most of the beliefs, 95% of the belief that you have been indoctrinated with. Honorable Elijah Muhammad teacher contradicts all of that. You say the black man God, that's one example. You've been taught to look for that white boy looking up with the long hair or whatever the hell else he had. You understand? They call him your God. Honorable Elijah Muhammad say black man God, oh, that shook up. That's one reason the nation fell, because a lot of them was in there and went to Orthodox Islam because they believe in that spirit God, the mystery God. You understand? They couldn't believe. Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad was the supreme being, the Mahdi. Because they had never been taught that before. You was up under the educational system of the white man. But apparently the white man knew you was God because he went and got God to build his world for him. You understand what I'm saying? See how you can't put your thoughts together and see the trigonometry? You understand? Huh? Can you understand? This is high level understanding now. You're going to get there though. It says, you have to be a student in order to grow up in wisdom. It said, let me get it right. It said you have to be a student in order to grow up into wisdom, into the wisdom, and have the knowledge of oneself. To study self is to ascend into oneness. To study self is to ascend into oneness with Allah, God, the Mahdi. When we study and practice righteousness, try to correct our morals and values and learn and listen to ourselves when it communicates with us, listen to that inner voice, that God voice. You understand? And you work on yourself every day, every single day. It's a work in progress because you're presented with obstacles every day, or you have to make decisions every day. Some are good, some are bad. But the key is to grow back into your godly-like self, to ascend back into your God mind state. Black folks, this is the whole damn test. When you make decisions on a daily basis, are they righteous decisions? Are they devilish ones? Do you listen to your body when it talks to you? Do you put the right foods in your body to optimize oneself? Do you put the right information into your mind? You understand? That'll keep you moving down that straight path. You understand? Do you seek and study knowledge? Do you know how to protect your mind? Do you know how to fight off temptation, lust, jealousy, and envy? Huh? Because this is the world that you've been placed in. From day one, black folks, you didn't know who God was. You didn't know how to look for him. You don't know the mind of God. You don't know how to think in the mind of God, think like a God, because you never was told you was a God. You was told you was a nigger, and that was it. Or the white man's boy. Understand? A tool and a damn fool. You didn't know, you didn't know. But now you know. Understand what I'm saying? When you see in the picture of Allah, the person, Master Farad Muhammad, he holding the book, the Quran, up under his arm. You understand what I'm saying? Even when them crackers had me locked up, I always read. I like reading. But the key was I protected my spirit because I was projecting my mind and sending it out into the world. When my mind wasn't locked up, understand? Behind them walls, I could send my mind out, understand? And I could bring him back. You understand what I'm saying? So I didn't have to suffer mentally, because when my mind is bad, it's going to put all that on my body. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to know how to control your mind. That's why a lot of brothers break down in jail. They don't know how to control their mind. You understand? Up under very dire consequences, situation, and environment. You understand what I'm saying? That's the key to everything. Black man got it, brothers and sisters. You have to figure it out. But let me move on. See, it's hard to clear your mind off of foolishness when you've been taught from day one. Even before you got out the womb, you was hearing the thoughts of your parents and the environment that was around you. It says, check this out. Everything that you see, everything that you see, and when you see it, do you really know what you see? What you're really seeing is the mind of God in full display. You understand? Because everything came from the mind of God. Allah. Look, it said in order to be great, you have to be able to sacrifice. You have great athletes and musicians, they got to put the time in. You got to put the practice in. You got to put the study in. Ain't no mystery God pop your fan, whoop, there it is. No. You got to put it in. You have to study. You have to practice, and you have to give up what? Foolishness. You understand what I'm saying? You have to give all that up and get focused. That way you become the best of the best than all the rest. You understand? These are my tidbits for the night. You know, wherever I go, I got knowledge. Whatever book I pick up, I'm gonna find some knowledge in it. This is that. But every time I learn something, it's getting me closer to where I need to go. Let's see what we got here. It says the mind. If you start with your mind, everything else will align. The mind is the most powerful and astonishing part of the human body. Yet so many people neglect to take advantage of its full capacity. Anybody teach you about your mind? Hell no. Choosing only to use a tiny fraction of your mind to control the world around you puts you at a disadvantage, black people. Start thinking for your damn self. Start doing for yourself. Separation is the best way. When we refuse to step into our responsibility to nurture and control our mind, we shrug our shoulders and allow life to simply happen. We often wonder what the next year will bring instead of taking responsibility and creating your own future. That's the beauty of the future. You can create it your damn self. You understand what I'm trying to say? Black folk, get your mind back. It says, beliefs are alternative facts. I could believe, like Dr. Bay used to say when you have a FOI meeting, he said, you know, I could believe there's a truckload of cocaine in front of the bakery. But he said, you know, it would sit there forever because we would never touch it. Just because you believe something don't make it a fact, is what I'm trying to tell you, folks. It says, beliefs are alternative fact. That belief is a state of mind in which a person thinks something to be the case, with or without any evidence to prove it. You understand? What I'm trying to say, that makes most of our beliefs alternative facts presented as truth. Think about these things. Every time you talk about, I believe. It's like R. Kelly, I believe I can fly. Couldn't fly across the street. It says perception and reality are two different things because truth is relative. Your truth is based on the stories you tell about what you believe is true for you. My truth may not be your truth. What I see, you may not see. What I believe about and experience is different from what you believe about it, even if we encountered the same experience. Listen, this means there can be no absolute truth. Our stories can be manipulated and adjusted any way we like. So examine your stories. Are you representing, and accepting alternative facts about yourself that go against what it is you are really wanting? Do you really want to be free? Or do you want to just be accepted by the white man so you can live right next door to him? We get this white girls to talk shop with Billy Bob. That's all you want? Don't you want to be free? Don't you want to be free where you can put your mind, in a productive and creative environment where you can eliminate all chaos around you because you have control of your environment? You know, I was sitting up thinking today, you know, a lot of the training that we have received at FOI over all these years, and one of the greatest forces we had, which was many, was when we did our drilling. Left face, right face, left face. Double to the rear by the left flank, by the right flank to the rear march. Home run left, home run right. Double left, double right. These are commands. The brother that's spitting out these commands, you got to listen. Understand? And you got to execute all those commands I just gave. You understand what I'm saying? It gives you the ability to listen, not anticipate, but to do that which you hear, not anticipate. Because the brother might say left face, left face, left face. You think that left face coming? No, you might switch your head to the left. Brother ain't saying the left. He going to the right. He say the right face. You understand? But it gives you a certain ability, brothers and sisters, where your mind is trained up. It's sharp. You understand what I'm saying? Where you can stop on a dime. You understand? Brother might say, Brother Basheer, hope. You stop, your foot be still in midair. Or you can be riding. You understand what I'm saying? And somebody getting ready to cut in front, you can see it before they damn near do it. You understand? And you can get out the way easy. You understand what I'm saying? Or somebody, you can be walking, person getting ready to walk in front of you, and you can notice that, and you can just stop right there. Just stop. You understand? This is godly mind training. It makes the mind so sharp. You understand? And once you get this training after years, it don't never leave you. It stays with you. You become a trained up observer as well. You know what to look for. You know what you see. You see most things that most people don't see. You understand what I'm saying? You damn near can tap into other people's thoughts. You can damn near tell what they're thinking or what their next move gonna be. You can go into environments and pick up on their vibrations. You pick up on the energy. Understand what I'm trying to tell you? Black folks, you know, these are things that train and condition the mind. Works on instinct and memory. Understand? And you're taught to think 5 times even before you open your mouth. You're trained to be physically, mentally, spiritually fit. All these things are conducive. If you help the mind, you're going to keep the body healthy. Sick mind, sick body. Understand? You know, you can have a sick body and got a healthy mind and a sick body. Let me get on back to this. It says many of the alternative facts that we believe were programmed in us at a young age. That's why I keep saying it's so important, family. You get a handle on this now. Understand? Well, you can deprogram or program your children the right way. So when they go out into this evil, sinful, wicked, and accursed world, you understand? That alternative perspective that the world presented to them is countered by the things you do in your home. It won't have that effect on them, a major effect. You know, curiosity is always in young people. A lot of things you tell them not to do, they'll go toward. But if they've been instilled and given a foundation on knowledge based on truth, 9 times out of 10, they find their way back because they got something to work with. You understand what I'm trying to say, you black folks? It said many of the alternative facts we believe were programmed in us at a young age. The beliefs are so deeply embedded that we accept them as facts, even though we've never considered the possibility they're untrue. Think about this now. To even question these beliefs can be terrifying. We fight to be right about the program beliefs that tell us what we must do, but it seems as if we've never considered our individual right to decide what feels true for ourselves, black folks. It makes sense for us to do that since all our life we've been given the belief that something outside ourselves has more control than we have over who we are. Well, that's not the way you talk, black folks. We adopt these hereditary patterns, culture, codes, and social beliefs, and we identify ourselves based on these labels. The way we learn, where we receive knowledge, how we should control our sexualities and emotions are still taught behavior. We've even told what religion we should practice. Do we not? What they teach in the school system of America. How to be queer, how to be gay, how to be trans this, trans that. Put them in the books. Get into the minds of our youth early age. Understand? That's why I had a problem with Black Lives Matter. You got a bunch of, I don't know what you call them, I say gay men running around here twerking and stuff. Man been murdered, you out here on some damn twerking stuff. Talking about Black Lives Matter. Man, get the hell out the way. You ain't representing us. You representing the beast. Whether you know it or not. Then you got all that money and they do a damn thing with it. That's enough out of that. Just a little bit on the mind tonight. Keep moving right along. This is out the Black Experience. So all this knowledge is in the books, brothers and sisters. But one day, soon, you're going to remember all of this knowledge that's deeply embedded in you will come back into you. All these babies are being born. That's why I'm teaching you on certain things to teach you in the home. Because you can enhance those beautiful babies that's coming here ready to take over. But your responsibility is to enhance that responsibility. A godlike child coming to a parent. Think about this. To believe in the mystery God. don't even have that love for themselves, but God putting them in the hands of black people all over this country now. You have a responsibility to raise a God. But that's work. You got to put in the time and study and effort to develop a protocol. Understand? And learn the mathematical language. It says, this is the hidden truth. Our Savior has arrived. It said, the greatest and gravest of all is the slave master hiding of the truth that will exalt and save his slave. This is that great truth that white America is hiding from her one slave, the black man and woman. The white people know of and see the salvation of their slave that is now present. They are doing everything they possibly can to deceive the black man and woman into thinking that they, white people, hold a greater and better promise for a future to the black man and woman in America than Allah God. This is what they do. Understand what I'm saying? They done held out that shiny thing. I can get you a new home, get you a nice bank account. You buy all the gold and jewelry, but just follow my way. I had the best way. Don't pay no attention to that Bible. Don't pay no attention to the Muslim with the Quran. Understand? You have the freedom of choice to do as you please. It's all right, black man, if you like putting on makeup, says the devil. Now, if you want to put on them high heels, make sure you got the right size. Don't be too tight on your feet. If you like wearing dresses all of a sudden, but you've been out here in gangster rap all these years, catch a little case, go to jail, come out, you understand what I'm saying? Now you want to show your true colors. But that's all right. You had the freedom. Then you take another step forward. They're teaching the same damn thing that the devil is teaching through the preachers in the church houses. Most of them, not all of them, but a good majority of them now. Y'all following the Pope, running around with that long skirt on, with all them homosexual priests that they have in the Catholic Church. I don't even know how y'all can even get with that at all. But you still there. Understand what I'm saying? You talk about how these young youth was out here killing. But look how many people are being murdered and their minds are being murdered through religion, through the Catholic Church. Don't you remember that the Pope said, go down in Africa and get them niggas? Understand? I give you permission. So how y'all end up kissing the hand of the Pope? How can the Pope go in the motherland and you got all this, got one damn cracker? You got a sea of black folks and they bowing to this devil. After all of the devil's been the foolishness and the plans that they got for the destruction of the motherland on the table now. All those military bases that's in so-called Africa right now. The truth been hidden from you, but we're going to shine the light on it. Listen. It says, white people know and see the salvation of their slave that is now present. They're doing everything they possibly can to deceive the black man and woman to think that they white people hold a greater and better promise for a future for the black man and woman in America than Allah God. This will deceive many of our people, and it has. Read the 7th surah of the chapter of the Holy Quran where the devil is made to confess his deceiving of the people in these words. Allah promised you the promise of truth. This is what the devil's saying. I promise you, but fail to fulfill. That's all we get is promises. But in all his promises, he done broke. All his treaties he done signed with the original people. Has he not broke? Understand what I'm saying? It said, as you know, The revelation of the Bible under the title of John teaches that the old dragon beast, referring to the white civilization, deceived the whole world and had done just that. Allah has taught me they deceived 90% of the total population of the planet Earth. The only way the white race can survive and rule is by making false appear as truth and truth appear as falsehood. It said the white race was made by nature without the truth. Jesus said in the Bible, John 8, chapter 44, verse, that there was no truth in them, for their father was a liar, listen, and a murderer. Listen, this is what we're dealing with that today. Therefore, his children the right way cannot be otherwise. Listen, black folks. America is at war with the darker people, don't you understand? And the brown, yellow, and every race, regardless of color today. But she refused to tell you the truth of this war that is now taking many lives, is it not? This is hiding the truth. What is she trying to get peace for? If these people losses are as great as the radio and other news media state, the enemy would be on his knees begging for peace. It seems as if it is now vice versa. This is hiding the truth. But I'm going to finish this up. Allah said to me, and America will not admit the truth of her losses until we see it in our heels. Now you're starting to see it. The black man in America has never put any confidence in anyone but the white man, the white slave master. That's why I say the white man told you this knowledge right now. Y'all go all the way forward. Understand? You itch masters, I itch. You sick master, I'm sick. Regardless of how ill-treated the black man may be, he still has hope of his master telling him the truth. That's the problem today. Y'all think the white man gonna change all of a sudden. Hey, I got to teach like this. You dig? Think he gonna change his mind on the way he treat his one slave. He still think you his slave. You don't own nothing in America, do you? You buy a house, hell, you don't own it. They come take it when they get ready. You buy a car. They ain't tow your car when you get ready. Understand what I'm saying? You don't own nothing in America. Period. It says, the real truth that America is under divine judgment to destroy her for the evil done to Allah's people. Let me read this back to you a little bit more slow. The real truth is that America is under divine judgment to destroy her for the evil done to who? Allah's people, the black man in America. Hiding the truth takes away confidence, trust, and love. Black folks. This is a little bit on the time. Just when should we expect truth to be triumphant? The answer is at the removal of what? Falsehood. It's got to be removed by who? Allah, the Mahdi himself. You understand? It said this date is taken from the beginning of the present cycle of the world history writings. You understand? By 25 black scientists. That's what we call them. Of which only 24 actually do the writing. Listen. And the 25th acts as a judge of the writings of the other 24. The 24 scientists. The Mahdi, Master Fraud Muhammad's father, was the 25th. He was the judge. You understand? That's how he was able to bring in the Mahdi. But that's a story for another day. But I'm telling you how this world really operates. This knowledge you don't get from the devil. at all. It said, this data is taken from the beginning of the present cycle of the world history writings by 25 black scientists, of which only 24 actually do the writing. And the 25th one acts as a judge of the writings of the other 24. This takes place once every 25,000 years. In this history is written everything that will come to pass for the next 25,000 years. See, this is the way the black man write history, black folks. The white man write his history from the past, from all the things that he has done. Well, we write our history. We write our history for the future. Understand what I'm saying? We can look down the wheel of time. See down that wheel of time. This is the way we write our history. 24 scientists, you got the 12 major, the 12 minor. I've been taught that there's 12 major, but actually when they use that, what they really said is there's 12 men and there's 12 women. And that 25th one, all decisions are made. He's the judge. Some of those scientists are here in America now. Some of those scientists were around when they wrote the Constitution of America. They have put certain things in the mind of those who write that Constitution. Understand? In their minds. Listen. It says the original scriptures, listen, of the Bible and Holy Quran were taken from it and revealed by word of mouth and inspiration to prophets. We are now in the 16,000th year of this cycle and have 9,956 years to be finished before the next cycle. Man, history is written every 25,000 years. You understand? It said we got 9,000 more years in this cycle before that 25,000 years is up and a new God comes in on the scene. A new mind comes on the scene. And every time these guys come on the scene every 25,000 years. You understand? They're not allowed to use anything from the past, from the previous God. Understand? But this God that's on the scene today has the power and the force of the Creator himself. You understand? And this one shall rule forever. Allah Akbar. It says, we are now in the 16,000th year of this cycle. We have 9,956 years to be finished before the next cycle. But we are not concerned with that which the present time holds for us. A thorough knowledge of the time and changes to be made is the important factor for you and me. Let me read that back. But we are not concerned with that which the present time holds for us. A thorough knowledge of the time and changes of the time we're living in and the changes to be made is the important factor for you and me. The time given to the white race, Yakub grafted people to rule the world in between the 9th and 15,000 years of our cycle of 25,000 years, which is 6,000 years. Listen, that time expired in 1914. A few years of grace had been given to complete the resurrection of the black man, and especially the so-called Negro, whom Allah has chosen for a change. You're the change maker, black folks. This is the miracle. Listen, a new nation and world. They, so-called Negroes, have been made so completely mentally dead by the enemy of the white race that the extra time is loud. See, they were given a grace in order for us to catch up with ourselves so we can wake back up and memorize who we are We're the ones that's going to be changed. And part of the change, black folk, like I taught you last week, the material in us will be used to bring us and make us look like we 16 years old again. No sickness on the planet. No murder, robbing, maiming. No sinning after 20 years of the removal of the devil. Understand what I'm saying? Oh, yes. It says, the time, 6,000 years ruled by the white race has been the worst of our known history. A time of complete troublemaking, is it not? Tell me I'm wrong, black folks. It's been the worst time in our history. A time of complete troublemaking. Wars, bloodshed is the order of the day. The death of both the righteous and the wicked as never before. White folk killing one another left and right, getting ready to go into World War III, left and right. Over there in Syria, Turkey talking that big sick talk, mistreating his people. Got hit by 7.8 earthquake over there in Syria. They lost thousands and thousands of people. I looked at some of the footage today. Complete rubble. Aftershock was 7.5. Understand? Earthquakes coming to America. From the East Coast to the West Coast. Under Elijah Muhammad, the earthquake's going to be so great, it's going to drive everybody into the center of the country, those that make it. Listen. Therefore, the black nation and our God, who is the originator of the universe, have decided to remove, Let me tell you, run that back to you. Therefore, the black nation and our God, who is the originator of the universe, the creator, have decided to remove the troublemakers from our planet, Earth. And there is no way of the black nation getting along in peace with this wicked, grafted race known as the white race. They have flooded the nation with deceit and division. They have flooded the nations all across this planet with deceit and division. That's why you get all these damn wars. Been tricked. The time has arrived for plain truth, wherein you shudder and call the truth a lie and call falsehood the truth. This is so true. This is due to your being reared and taught by the deceivers. But your disbelief in the truth will not hinder its progress. Whether you believe it or not, it's going to take place. You understand? Listen, for it is the time of truth, and this truth is in our favor, black folks. Now that time is expired, and the time of truth and righteousness again will rule. The interval of 6,000 years of evil and falsehood makes the average person think that the original black nation was never anything worthwhile. Consider the time. Most surely man is lost except those who believe and do good. It says most surely man is in loss except those who believe and do good and enjoy each other truth. The Holy Quran, the 103rd Surah, verse 1 and 3. The time of the white race is divided into 3 periods of 2,000 years. They lost 2,000, but Moses went and got them. The first 2,000 years were the period between Yaqub, the father, and the grafter of the white race, to the birth of Musa, Moses, to the birth of Esau, Jesus. The last great prophet to the white race, the third 2,000-year period, is from the birth of Esau, Jesus, to the coming of Allah. Allah's here now. This is with the last part, often referred to by the Christian as the coming of God, the Christ, the Messiah, the Son of Man, or the second coming of Jesus. In Islam is referred to as the coming of the great Mahdi, the coming of Allah to the birth of Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. Our Savior has arrived. Just hitting you up with a little knowledge. I ain't gonna take long. I'm almost finished now. But I want to give you something else on the black root science of how this devil operates. You got to know how he operates. See, we Muslims in the Nation of Islam, we know how this devil operates. Like I say, we game tight. Understand what I'm saying? Can you fool a Muslim nowadays? Hell no, not nowadays. Can you fool a Negro nowadays? Hell yeah, every day and any day. Allahu Akbar. It says, and this book is telling about the story of Jesus and what happened with Jesus, because every time a prophet comes onto the scene, the white man always creates another one. You understand? To make you think he was a white man. It said what happened in Jesus' time happened again in the time of Muhammad. There was also two Muhammads, one a black man and the other a white man. Listen, there was a time in the latter part of Elijah's life, talking about Elijah Muhammad, most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad, life where there was great turmoil in the Nation of Islam caused by the dissension of Malcolm X. Listen. Elijah then told his dissenting ex-followers that the man they were following was a white man, the founder of Orthodox Islam. Yet previously it taught that Muhammad of the Quran was a black man. Now, many people are still puzzled as to why he would make such an obvious error. Now you understand that this was not at all a contradiction. The Muhammad that he was referring to as responsible for white Islam was indeed a white man. He was the Antichrist of the time. Elijah could not talk as yet about the phenomenon of the Antichrist. It would have caused too much confusion. Also, at the beginning of the movement, there was another Antichrist present who was opposing Farad. Elijah could not talk about any of these things. And that is so true, because there's a picture out about this criminal that the FBI had put out, talking about he was Master Farad Muhammad. Understand? But it was. That was to dissuade the people from following the Supreme Being or the Mahdi or accepting his teachings. Understand? Deceitful devil. Listen. The story of the white Muhammad is told very succinctly by Malachi C. York. You can read the entire story if you look it up now, the story of Muhammad by D. York on the internet. Keep in mind that even though his story was divinely inspired and accurately recorded by York, there is much that he wrote on other matters that was inaccurate, inspired by, listen, by deceitful beings that he allowed to gain access to his mind. Be careful who you allow to get access to your mind and your thinking, black folks. That's why when I get knowledge and I read it, say, I'm not going to be tricked. It got to line up with the teaching of Elijah Muhammad. Now, if I can line it up mathematically, then I teach it. Don't line it up, hell, I'm not teaching this crap. Understand? It said, listen. It said, in summary, the history is as follows. Muhammad was born, talking about Prophet Muhammad was born in Ahmed in 57 AD. His name was changed to Muhammad by his grandfather when he took him as a boy to the Kaaba. That's symbol of veneration. His father was Abdullah. Matter of fact, Master Farad Muhammad's father's name was Abdullah as well, what I've been told. His mother, Amina, Abdullah was the son of Ab al-Matilli, who was a descendant of Kedar, the second son of Ishmael, son of Abraham. He was a black man. Listen, his parents died when he was a child and he was raised by his uncle, Abu Talib, brother of his father, Abdullah. Muhammad had a daughter named Fatima, and his uncle had a son named Ali. Ali married Fatima, and this made him the next in line to succeed Muhammad as the first Khalifa. Listen. Upon Muhammad's death, but as you will see, the Antichrist had other plans against Muhammad's family, disposing Ali, because they killed him, and enthroning the cronies in the caliphs, whose descendants to this day claim that they are the descendants of the real Muhammad. These are the white Arabs that rule Islam today. That's why you have that schism between the Shiites and the Sunnis of who was supposed to rule. I just told you, that's why they killed Ali. Ali was the black Khalifa. Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, the true Prophet Muhammad was a black man in Arabia, Saudi Arabia, the land of the black. Listen. I'm almost finished. Listen, the true descendants of Muhammad. I know you Arabs don't like this. The true descendants of Muhammad from the tribe of Quraysh are black people. Some of them settled in Sudan to escape the persecution of the followers of the false Muhammad. And they took the original Quran, with them, where it's still kept safely in their custody. The real Quran sits in Sudan at the time of this writing. Just like they say the body of Esau, better known as Jesus, sits in Karachi, Pakistan, entombed, encased. You understand? If you're a Muslim, you can pay the fee to go view his body. You understand what I'm trying to say? Non-Muslims are not allowed. Listen. It says, about 22 years before Muhammad's birth, a white Arab boy was born in the same region named Musa Lamat. Musa Lamat was to become the Antichrist to Muhammad. When his time came, he changed his name to Muhammad, which means prophecy fulfilled, and destroyed copies of the Quran and replaced them with his own Quran. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us don't read every Quran. Yusuf Ali, Maulana Ali, he said you read their interpretation of the Quran. He said never read the interpretation of a white man's interpretation of the Quran, because they're going to change the wording in it. That's like when we had purchased the message to the black man years ago. Some of the wording in it had been changed. That's why we had the original copy, and we went through the whole message to the black man in the FOI class. Probably took about 6 months or so. Understand? And made sure everything was right in the sack. When we found the error, we changed it, because we had the original copies of the message to the black man. It says, about 22 years before Muhammad's birth, a white Arab boy was born. An Arab boy was born in the same region named Musa Lamat. Musa Lamat was to become the Antichrist of Muhammad. When this time came, he changed his name to Muhammad, which means prophecy fulfilled, and he destroyed copies of the Quran and replaced them with his own Quran. he also created the Sharia, which are oppressive, man-made laws. That's why they already talk about Sharia law now. And when you listen to some of the things that they say up on the Sharia law, you can understand now it had to come out the white man's mind. Listen, he also created the Sharia, which are oppressive, man-made laws added to the Quran, just like the Jews made up the Talmud and added it to the Torah. That's why you got the Taliban over there with Sharia law right now. Musa Lamat was the son of Habib al-Hanif. He had an advisor named Waqar, together with whom they proceeded to change the original Quran and replace it with their own, being helped by Jewish scholars and Jesuits, priests of the Catholic Church. Here we go again, that Catholic Church. This is the same Quran that is read today by Muslims all over the world. Been duped. You've been tricked again, people. Musalamat planned the death of Muhammad. Listen. Musalamat planned the death of Muhammad by having him poisoned. He and Raga tried to tempt Muhammad into forming an alliance with them. He refused, and they planned it. Listen, he refused, and they plotted his death by sending a Jewish woman called Sanab to serve him poisoned meat during a feast. He ate a little of it, didn't realize it was poison. He did not die immediately, but the poison affected him so much that he could not recover from it, and he died 3 years later in 632 AD. Listen, this is the knowledge you need. Understand? That's why they don't call us real Muslims over there in the East. Understand? We're not following that tradition. It says, now the time of the last Mahdi. No, let me go back. The original Quran, which was written and dried on animal skin, was taken by the family of Muhammad to Sudan, where it remains today. Listen, now is the time of the last Mahdi, Farad. There was a white man, a false Messiah, whose mission also was to destroy everything that Farad was building, especially the nation of Islam. This named man was Farad, F-A-R-D. He was a convicted criminal, and you can still see his picture today, because those who like to discredit Farad like to present the picture of this white criminal as the real Mahdi. The true picture of Farad is the one that Elijah shows of him holding the Quran. Listen, the other is the picture of his opponent, the seventh Antichrist. You can see how closely they resemble one another. Although with the past Messiah, there was no resemblance with their opposer. This time is made possible by the fact that Farad was himself the son of a white woman. This was necessary. This was a necessary condition for him to succeed in his mission. But Master Farad Muhammad's father was a cold black man, or more, what I was told. It says, I'm almost finished, the extreme racism of his day, having been quite overt, would have precluded him from infiltrating the white system to learn all that he had had he been a purely black man, it was this that made it possible for the false Messiah, Farad, to pass himself off as Farad in this modern day of photography. Listen, plus the devil have sent a false Messiah every time a real Messiah is come to black people. This will do this one last time. Then Yahweh will come, and that will be the end. This is the last of it, black folks. You understand? White man has always practiced technology. He has always been the Antichrist. You've been looking for the Antichrist or the Messiah or the Mahdi or the Christ. Where you been looking? You've been looking amongst you and I, amongst the black nation. You understand what I'm saying? You are the best of the best. Black folks, it's takeover time. It's our time now, black folks. I got to tell you like it is. You know, I had a lot more knowledge I wanted to give you, but I ain't gonna power you up too much tonight. I'm gonna give you a little bit at a time. Like you said, the Holy Quran was written on animal skin. The Prophet Muhammad's family, peace and be a blessing. All praise is due to Allah, was taken in Sudan. And it's there today. The original Quran, the Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad was a black man. Say it again. Prophet Muhammad was original man. People, there is so much to break down and try to give to you so you can have a better understanding on the world we're living in and the time that we're living in and what must be done. Even though the knowledge I gave you tonight has been kept away from you, been kept away from most of the world. Understand what I'm saying? The whole Muslim world is in an uproar now. The whole Muslim world is out of order. The whole Muslim world is damn near fighting one another. But you have never seen the Nation of Islam fight one another. But I do remember years ago with so-called Louis Alcindor, they call him Kareem Abdul-Jabbar now. He joined this sect, the Muslims, and it was out in Philadelphia, I believe, Sunni. But they were talking, they went to talking bad, this leader that they had about the Honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad, putting out threats, threatening his family the whole 9 yards. You know, but we dangerous as well. And that leader of that sect, I forgot what they call him now. And that's when they took over the B'nai B'rith headquarters. But them soldiers went in there, brother, and murdered all of them. Killed the whole damn family. Muslim, the followers of the Honorable Muhammad Elijah Muhammad, are men that you should not play with at all. Very humble, pleasant men. highly, highly dangerous. You got some men that can fold a newspaper the right way and kill you with a newspaper, black folks. This is the fruit. Knowledge can become power if you take that knowledge and execute it. Is the key. Black folks, it's our time now. It's our time. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. Teach your family. Seek knowledge, black man. Give it to your family. You all should be running to the FOI classes to get properly trained up and conditioned for the job at hand. More calamities are on its way. More murders of black people will continue all the way up to the end. Just about over it now. We're not keeping hope alive. We represent the future. When you see the black man, woman, and child, you're looking at your future leaders of this planet, future rulers of the whole damn planet. I say, when we go back home, we're not coming to get no damn job from nobody. We coming to lead. We are coming to rule. Y'all, my African brothers and sisters say y'all don't like it, well, you don't have no choice because we come to take over time. We will make you a superpower. We will rule freedom, justice, and equality. Peace, love, and happiness shall return to the planet. Understand? Allah Akbar. You know, I got so much actual facts. Get all this knowledge. And the last one I want to give you, I'm going to tell you what the Muslims want. Then I'm out of here. They say, what the Muslims want? Or do I need to sound more like a white boy? What the Muslims want? No, I talk black. I just can't help it. Try to sound like no white boy. Said, this is the question asked most frequently by both whites and blacks. Answer this question, I shall state as simply as possible. What the Muslims want? He said, we want freedom. We want a full and complete freedom. Said we want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all regardless of creed or class or color. We want equality of opportunity. We want equality of opportunity. We want equal membership in society with the best in civilized society. 4, we want our people in America whose parents or grandparents were descendants from slaves to be allowed to establish a separate state or territory of their own, either on this continent or elsewhere. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to provide such land, and that the area must be fertile and minerally rich. And we also want to make sure we got a port to the ocean, so we can import and export. We won't be landlocked. We believe that our former slave masters are obligated to maintain and supply our needs in this separate territory for the next 20 to 25 years until we're able to produce and supply our own needs, black folks. Because I truly believe if we can get up off under this devil and have a land that we can call our own and operate amongst ourselves, you will see a great, great, great people rise up from the dustbins of the earth. You understand? And bringing a whole new social construct. You understand? A whole new way of life on this planet. A new mind, a brand new day, a new world order. Oh yes, it says we want every black man and woman to have the freedom to accept or reject being separated from the slave, master's children, and establish a land of their own. Don't you want your own land, black folks? We know that the above plan for the solution of the black man and the white conflict is the best and only answer to the problem between two people. Both ain't gonna get it. It can serve a purpose, but it ain't gonna get the job done. We want an immediate end to police brutality and mob attacks against the so-called Negro throughout the United States. We believe that the federal government should intercede to see that black men and women tried in white courts receive justice in accordance with the laws of the land. Ain't no damn justice for us. Or allow us to build a new nation for ourselves, dedicated to freedom, justice, and equality. This is what the Muslims talk. This is what the righteous is talking about. We want a land. We said we believe that the federal government should intercede to see that black men and women tried by white courts receive justice in accordance with the laws of the land, or allow us to build a new nation for ourselves, dedicated to justice, freedom, and equality. Oh yes. As long as we are not allowed to establish a state or territory of our own, we demand not only equal justice under the laws of the United States, but equal employment opportunities now. We want ownership. We do not believe that after 400 years of free or nearly free labor, sweat, and blood, which has helped America become rich and powerful, that so many thousands of black people should have to subsist on relief, charity, or live in poor houses. Why should we be living poor? We built this damn place. Come on, black folks. We want the government of the United States to exempt our people from all taxation. Here we paying taxes to the police to kill us. You understand what I'm saying? As long as we are deprived of equal justice under the laws of the land, we want equal education, but separate schools up to 16 for boys and 18 for girls, on the condition that the girls be sent to women's colleges and universities. We want all black children educated, taught, and trained by their own teachers. Makes a big difference in most cases. Under such schooling system, we believe that we will make a better nation of people. The United States government should provide free, all necessary textbooks and equipment, schools and college buildings. The Muslim teachers shall be left free to teach and train their people in the way of righteousness, decency, and self-respect. 10, we believe that intermarriage or race mixing should be prohibited. We want the religion of Islam taught without hindrance or suppression. These are some of the things that we, the Muslims, want for our people in North America. This is some of the things we want, black folks. Yeah, any man should want to be free. Any man for want freedom, justice, and equality, peace, love, and happiness, and knowledge for his family. Understand? Any man should want ownership and control over his environment. Any man should desire power and force. Understand? The black man should not be following any other man. Black men are gods. Therefore, we are leaders. You understand? Take over time, black folks. Take over time. You can see it if you got eyes to see and ears to hear with. And if you can't see it, that means you still blind, deaf, or dumb to the time that we're living in. Allah is on the scene. You understand what I'm saying? To free the black man and to slay his open enemy. I'm just telling you what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says is coming. All you house niggas of America, stay where you at. Make your bed in the devil's house, then you should die with it. Allahu Akbar. I say Muhammad. I say Muhammad. I say Muhammad's got the devil on the run. That's right. Run, devil, run. Up, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yes. He's a dying race of people. You understand what I'm saying? Black folks, take over time. Allahu Akbar. I pray that you took something from this subject tonight. It's so much. There's so much knowledge and things that we have to learn, black folks. I'm going to give it to you. If you don't want it, it's too bad. But you're going to wish you had received it. It's going to come that time. So black folks, don't despair. Don't get discouraged. Prepare. Don't get depressed. Prepare to take over. Study your craft. Practice your craft. Become a specialist in whatever you do for good. Teach and train to stay physically fit. Keep your mind sharp. Practice how to eat to live. I seen the brother post the other day on my podcast. He said, brother, you should eat some kale. I don't eat kale. Very acidic food. Rest of the man-made food. I don't eat kale. A lot of you vegans eat kale. I don't eat it. Matter of fact, when I eat it, don't even agree with me. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we don't eat kale. Dr. Sabi said it's too acidic. Understand? And it's a made man food from out the lab of the Caucasian. So you got to know how to eat out here. A lot of you turning vegan, that's good. Understand what I'm saying? Know what you're doing, because everybody just like saying the word though. But I'm not going into that. I might do a subject on that one day, practice on how to eat to live. Keep you here, keep your mind sharp. Understand? But you know, just get back into your home, brother, and establish your families. Set your family up right. Set your family up for the future. Black man, is it easy? Hell no, ain't nothing easy. It wasn't easy being born. But we got to do it. It's in accord with the will of Allah. Understand what I'm saying? So I'd like to thank you all tonight for coming in, tuning in, share it, pass it on. Knowledge is power. Let's organize. There's no such thing that we cannot unite. We can. All one. from that one mind, that one creator. When we unite and come together and put our minds on one thing, we can manifest it, condense it, and bring it into reality. All praise due unto Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I'd like to thank him for raising up in our midst the divine leader, teaching, spiritual guide in the person of the most honorable and humble Elijah Muhammad. Allahu Akbar. Good night, black people. Stay safe, stay black, stay strong. Organize. Organize is the key. Allahu Akbar.